Hey everyone on my YouTube channel. I wanted to do a really quick trail review. I'm going to try to start doing a few more of these. Some of you guys have asked me about it. I'm up here in Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm on a trail at Hanna Park. And it has been probably 14 years since I've ridden this trail. It's not one that you would make a special trip to just because there's not a ton of trail. Maybe I'm estimating 10, 15 miles of mountain bike trail, but my son has a soccer game up here Saturday and Sunday, so I just came out in the morning here to do the trail and brought my bike. And I can tell you, I'm really impressed with these trails. They're a lot better than I remember them being. I remember them being kind of sandy, creek crossings that were kind of muddy. I am just really impressed. I have not hit, I don't think, any sand today. Now this is early May and we've had some pretty good rain lately, but there's just kind of a coating of leaves that really aren't that slippery that I guess keep the trail from being sandy. So the trails here are pretty tight. It's a typical Florida type trail, and this is probably one of the best wooden features here. But it's just your typical Florida tight trails, but they flow really well. They flow actually a lot better than I remember them flowing. And so the trail surface, like I said, is pretty good. It's not tacky, but I'm riding my giant Trance just because I'm heading up to the mountains in a few weeks and I want to get used to it. But I've got some pretty good tires on this bike, and I think it helps on conditions like this where you can see there's a good number of leaves, but it's not near as slippery as some of the Florida trails can be in early spring, when our leaves fall the most on some of our trees onto the trails. But again, a fast flowy section. There's kind of two sides to it. When you come into the park entrance, on the right side is trails that are a little bit they're not disjointed, but they have some street crossings and things like that. On the north side is a trail called E-Line, and that's a really fun flowy trail. The cool thing about these is they're marked for directions depending on the days of the week, and so you got to really pay attention to the signs, but you can just rail the corners with confidence knowing there's nobody coming around the corner. There's only one trail that I hit that was multi-directional and was real short. So unidirectional trails, again, depending on the day of the week. Not too many routes. As far as a bike type, I think you could get away really easily with this basic cross-country bike, hardtail 29er. My Trance is really fun out here. Normally I'd ride my Anthem, but again, I'm trying to get used to the Trance for my trip coming up. So again, not a lot of routes. The corners are pretty banked. They're not really bermed, but fully, but they are banked a little bit, so you can really rail a lot of these corners. No rocks here at all. It's all roots and just fast flowy trail. So definitely one that I would recommend if you're in the area. I would also recommend just downloading the map. I always put a map on my phone when I'm out on a new trail one that I haven't been on in a long time, and that way you can just check it. And it's not a big park. So it's not a trail that I think you would make a special trip to, but if you're in the area, I'd say within an hour of this place. It's in northern Jacksonville. I would really recommend you checking it out. There's probably some bike shops around here that you could rent from if you're coming in for a business trip or whatever. Bring your shoes and pedals and maybe rent a bike. But I think, for some of you guys who don't ride Florida trails a lot, this is a pretty good taste of Florida trails. Some of the sections are a little bit tighter than some of the other trails that I ride in Florida, but there are some open sections. There's one on the E-Line side, I think it's called Tornado Alley, that it's only like a quarter mile, but it is super fast. One nice thing about Hanna Park is it's right on the beach, so you can ride and then you can just go over to the beach and go surfing or just swim in the water. So that's a really cool thing about this park. There's also a campground here, so if you are coming in and you want to camp, I don't know how hard it is to get a reservation. Some of these places fill up in advance, so you might want to check it out. As far as the times of the year to ride, if you're not used to riding in Florida, You probably would not want to ride this trail, I would say maybe June through early September, just because of the heat and the humidity. The humidity, we get a lot of rain in the summertime, and the woods kind of hold in that humidity, and it's actually more humid than out of the woods, so that can be pretty brutal. But I would say October through May would be ideal times to ride these trails. So I don't have my GoPro with me, so I'm going to roll real slow just to give you guys a little bit of a sample. I'd normally be going about 10 times this fast on these trails, but you know, it's always nice to see what the trail looks like. So I'm riding with one hand holding this camera, so I'm putt-putting along here. But you know, you can see they're kind of banked, coming around corners like this, and you can just let it fly on these trails. You know, there's a few root gardens, but not near as many roots. Here's one, just a little thing coming up that you would just kind of roll over really easily. You know, you'll come around some tight stuff, and then it'll just open up, and you can let it go. Let's go right here. I've already done this trail today, but you can probably do everything here in about an hour if you know where you're going. So again, and these are the bridges that they've built since the last time I've been here, because you used to have to come over some creek crossings and get really nasty muddy. It's not clean water by any means. So again, just a little sample of what the trail looks like. Sorry, I didn't really plan to do this video, otherwise I would have brought my GoPro and gotten some better riding footage, but maybe this will give you guys at least an idea of what it looks like. Again, I really would recommend you guys checking this trail out if you're in the area. So thanks for watching.